Okay, this is page 38, and we are talking about solving equations again. But this time we are talking about equations that involve multiplication and division. I must have been on a green and pink theme. All right, so a lot of the same principles that we talked about in the last lesson. We have our scale. We know the same as. This is the same as that. So let's say we have 4p is the same as 20. Now 4p, remember that another way to think of that is 4 p's like hanging out in this petri dish or on this scale. Okay? Whenever the numbers are right next to each other, that means multiplication. If you haven't cemented that in your head yet, you want to cement it now. When they're right next to each other, that means multiply. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to get p by itself, to get the variable by itself, but specifically we need to get 1p by itself. Sorry, you couldn't see my 1. We need to get one of the variable by itself. So when I'm looking at 4p, and that can be thought of as 4 p's, I need to essentially take this and split it into 4 groups. And I am going to need to take this 20 and split it into 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I split 4p into 4 groups, in each group, that for each p over here, there is 20 split into 4 groups. So if you really want to see this out, 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. For each p over here, there is 5 in the other side. So p is the same as 5. Now I can check that solution by going back and taking what p was and plugging in the answer I got and making sure it makes sense. So on my double check, I say 4 times 5 is the same as 20. Is that true? Yes, it is. So that's right. You can also see now, granted I said it in sort of fancier ways, but when I'm splitting things up, that is division. So if I have b times 3 is the same as 12, I use the inverse, the opposite operation. So if this is 3 b's, I need to split that apart into 3 equal groups, so there's just 1 b in each group. So I divide both sides into 3 groups. And then I have in each group that b divided by 3 is just 1b, is the same as 12 divided by 3. There will be 4 in each group. So b is the same as 4. Then I go back and check. So I'm going to put in 4 for b. 4 times 3 is the same as 12. Is that true? Yes, it is. So I'm good to go. All right. I also might have some, just like last time, where I might need to add more weight. So let's say for an example. W divided by 4 is the same as 6. So right now we have that if I take W and I split it into 4 pieces, one of those pieces would equal 6. Well, I want to know what a whole W is. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 because then I'm going to end up with a whole W. So right now we know that W divided by 4 is the same thing as 1/4 times W, right? Think back to the fraction unit. You're pulling that back into your brain. The W divided by 4 is the same as 1/4 W because we would do, if we did 1/4 times W, 1 times W would be W. 4 times not that 1 would be 4. Hopefully that's there. Okay, so if we have 1/4 W, we want to turn that into a whole W. So we're going to multiply that by 4, and then we're going to end up having a whole W. So I'm timesing by 4, timesing by 4. So whatever's over here, I got to quadruple that too. Because if this is only good for a quarter, I need to make it good for a whole. So when I do this, the divided by 4 and the times by 4 cancel out. So now I have a whole W is the same as 6 times 4 is 24. Let's do our double check. So instead of W, I'm going to put in the answer I got. 24 divided by 4 is the same as 6. Well, 24 divided by 4 is 6, so yes, that works. Let's do one more. If we have S divided by 8 is the same as 30. I need to multiply by 8. This will cancel out, and I'll just have S over here is the same as, well, 3 times 8 is 24, so 30 times 8 will be 240. So let's double check it. 240 divided by 8 is the same as 30. Well, 24 divided by 8 would be 3, so it makes sense that 240 divided by 8 is 30. Yes, we are correct there. All right, so now you know how to solve equations, whether they involve addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division.